What's good, Fin Nation? What's good? It's your boy Reason, and we are back here for another one as we prepare to get back into the swing of things. And this week, we will be getting back into the mental focus as fans, and hopefully the players will too, so they can keep that momentum onwards towards New York. You know, back in Miami, so it is a home game. That's a good thing. But then we will be going on the road twice in a row after that to New Orleans Monday night, and then obviously to Tennessee, which could be very well be a very cold one. So that would be interesting to see. And then obviously we'll be coming back home for the season finale against the New England Patriots. The New England Patriots, who myself and Ball Game and EM Dolphin fans specifically continuously warned everyone before the season started. Specifically, we kept tending towards their run game, and we kept pointing out, all the players they had returning this year and how good they are. A lot of people were writing them off because of 1 year, and they're right back into the swing of things, and they are actually the number one seed. I mean, if you think about it, in the next stretch of 4 games, all these people who have doubted what this team's been able to do and the teams they've been able to beat, for them to go and run the table in the last 2 weeks, as it stands today, they must beat the number 1 seed at home and the number 2 seed in the AFC on the road. Obviously, the Titans. Titans don't really worry me, especially since the word is if Henry's going to come back, it's not going to be until the playoffs or if the final week is a win and you're in situation. Their defense is good. Offensively, I think we can gobble them up. The Saints, their defense is very good. I think people are underrating how good their defense is, but I think we can shut down Taysom Hill. Kamara is the only thing that worries me over there. And I think we should roll through the Jets. Now, the Patriots in the final week, that is going to be a daunting task because I've been saying it privately and I'm going to say it publicly because I don't know if I've said it publicly. I might have said it publicly, but I don't know. I've said it privately. I know that to people that, I trust when it comes to football eyes and minds. And, I've said to them, and not just people you see on YouTube, people outside of YouTube as well. And the question I keep posing to people is, what are the Dolphins going to do when a defense takes away Jalen Waddle? Because it hasn't happened yet. And if it doesn't happen over the next 3 weeks, you sure as shit can bet your ass it's going to happen in the final week of the season against the New England Patriots. Now, it might be one of those guys they can't take away, but I think JC Jackson is good enough where he can disrupt Jalen Waddle. If anyone's going to find a way and if anyone's going to do it, it's going to be Bill Belichick. Let's put that on the table right there. And with Mike Gesicki right now, Gesicki, ever since that Ravens game, I don't know where his head is at. He is in another dimension right now. He's up there, up in the clouds. If you ever listen to Gangstar, above the clouds, man, right there. That's where his head is right now. I don't know where he is, and you can't depend on him right now. So it's even more vital for Devontae Parker to stay healthy, because we're going to need to spread the ball around against New England. You're not going to be able to just live off purely feeding Jalen Waddle and hoping that it goes right for you. They're going to take it away. If they don't take it away in the first half, they'll take it away at halftime when they make their defensive adjustments. So it's coming. It's just a matter of when it's going to come and who it's going to be. So, because people keep forgetting. Marshawn Lattimore, Cameron Jordan, amongst others, the New Orleans Saints are no slouch in a defense, and they got some pretty good safeties over there too. So it's that's going to be a test too, a bigger test than what people think it's going to be. And I think the Titans are just a well-coached team, especially defensively. So it's going to happen. I'm sorry, it's going to happen in the final 4 weeks, especially if that game, if we're walking into that game 9-7 and they're walking in and they haven't clinched and it means something to them, if that game means something like home seed, So home field advantage or first seed. If that game means something, you bet your ass Bill Belichick gonna take away Jalen Waddle. Expect it. And if he doesn't, God bless us. We got away with one. Um, so that's where I'm gonna be interested to see what happens when Waddle gets taken away. Are they just gonna resort him back to what he was in the first 8 weeks and just like back to hitches and just little drags and stuff and just keep him underneath and see what they can break? You know, and please, you can say Mike Gesicki will eat, but Mike Gesicki ain't been eating and he's been given opportunities lately. I mean, the guy got hit right in the face in the end zone. So, and we're gonna find out um our run defense. I'm gonna go over it today. We're gonna find out how good our run defense really is. Um, we're gonna find out real quick how good our run defense really is in these last stretch of games, especially against New England in the last week. And I think the Saints will be a decent test because Taysom Hill, I mean, let's be honest with ourselves, right? Taysom Hill, you know, him and Kamara, the two of them put up over 190 yards in the last game together on the ground. So, um, it's going to be there. So it's going to be we're going to have to set the edge. That's for a reason. That's for sure. Hold on, let me just do something here for a sec. I'll get your and we'll get going here. I forgot to do something here. Also, I think I'm gonna repeat my stance because I want people to understand where I'm coming from. I know a lot of people are putting um playoffs or bust on this team right now and on Tua. Um Me, I'm not into that. Where mine, I'm gonna be firm on my stance. Where my stance is if we go into primetime 7-7 and we come out of primetime against New Orleans and we're one game above 500 after being 1-7, um, and who was a major contributor, especially on that Monday night primetime game, you know, that to me, that would be amazing. That would be like, I can't believe we were 1-7. I know there'll be the bleak and the pessimistic outlookers being like, well, what if this? What if that? Well, you can't change that. What happened happened. The fact that they showed the resiliency and the moxie to bounce back and get above 500. And if we finish this season like even 9-8 for me, if we finish this game, because to go 9-8, right, we got to go 3-1 in our final four games. And if you think about it, that's what are you going? You're going 8-1 over your last 9? So, I mean, that's good. Um, and it's gonna bide people time. I think it'll buy Flores, Greer, and Tua time. Um, Now if the wheels fall off, then then it's not gonna be so pretty for everyone. Um, but I'm gonna be positive. If we come out and we're 8-7 after starting, and we just did it like for a national audience, and Tua was a main contributor. I mean, like, what do you? How could you really ask for more right now? Like we all know, guys. There's a lot of scenarios where we could win out and we don't even make the playoffs. You know, like I mean, I mean that's the reality of the situation. Now, I'm pretty sure there's like I'm pretty sure there's like a scenario where we are actually mathematically still have a chance to win, um to like be the number one seed, and people are talking about this. I'm like, y'all are crazy. Uh You guys are crazy. Um, but apparently, like, I mean, that's where we're at right now, right? People are looking at everything right now, and I find it hilarious that people are trying to like convince themselves that we can. There is absolutely, I know it's mathematically still possible, guys. If we win the number one seed, I will have like the biggest giveaway in the Dolphins YouTube community history. Okay, like there is no way that is happening. No way whatsoever. Let's be honest with ourselves. That's just a pipe dream. I can't believe people are actually like putting this out there. It's hilarious to me. There's no way. Me, honestly, guys, set your, if you start setting your bar so high, you're returning those expectations, and if it doesn't happen, you're just going to be let down and crushed all over again. It'll make you bitter and mad. Just be realistic. To me, guys, if we finish 10-7, that would be incredible. If we finished 9-8, I would be happy with that. Like, I mean, if honestly, if like I said, if we came out of New Orleans 8-7 and two was a major contributor, I would, I would, I don't know what if I need to see anything for the rest of the season. I'd be good. I'd want to hold on to that moment. I'd want to hold on to that moment because I mean that might be the peak. To me, that's just like uberly impressive. And I think people now are just setting themselves up where I'm saying, like, okay, take the one game at the time philosophy, but also if you're going to have like expectations, be a little bit more realistic with them. That way, if they overachieve and they do make the playoffs, you're even more pleasantly surprised than you set yourself up to be. Otherwise, we're going to have a bunch of crushed people in the comments and people going on banters and rants. When we can't do anything about it. So that's where I'm at. So it's done here. Okay. Yep. I don't know. Everyone's just. I can see it, and it's. I can see it on different platforms. Like, just stop. Well, look what happened last time we had expectations. We're in this position right now, hoping we can just get back to um, hoping we can just get back um to 500. All right. Okay, we're done. All right. So, all that said, guys, if you're new here, like, subscribe. You know the drill. Patreon.com. My next film study is going to be Jalen Waddle. So, that'll be for the early for the Patreon. That's going to be a fun one. That's going to be early for the Patrons. It's going to be early for the YouTube channel members. I'm probably, I don't know. I'm kind of waiting to see how the season ends on that one. So I might just let that play out, and that film study might not come out till the end of the season. So I might find something in between and put it out for you guys. Um, but yeah, that'll be early if you're a Patreon YouTube channel member. If you're a Patreon, you're gonna get um mod status. If you don't have your wrench, hit me up privately on Patreon or email me, finsidethenfl@gmail.com. Let me know what your YouTube name is, and we can set that up. Um, yeah, just because I've had people who were payments declined and they complained, and I've had people who have had their payments declined, then they've had to re-up it. So, because I like sweep it like every month, right? So, all right. So guys, and then also little more here, patchvibes.com, use code Phinside, save 20% off your order. Backroomcollection.net, use code reason, save 10% off your order. They got some new stuff coming out. That Dan Marino thing they got coming out looks crispy cream. Thrivefantasy.com, use code Phinside, have every dollar up to your first 100 deposited matched by thrivefantasy.com, your number one website in fantasy prop betting. Yeah, go check out backroomcollection.net. I'm telling you, they got some nice stuff and they got autograph stuff. Like they got some Holland stuff coming up that's going to be in a he's doing a signing session and they're going to get some pieces signed by him. So, yeah, go check out the Jevon Holland stuff. Go check out backroomcollection.net. They got some great stuff, man. Literally 10% off. Trust me, that'll be you'll get a nice piece, man. You get a nice piece for the house, man. Um, okay. All right, let's get into everything. Krispy Kreme, you heard you damn right. You damn right, Bleezy. Hey, Birdman, you already know what time it is. You already know what time it is, man. Appreciate you, bro. Hope everything's going well, Birdman. Hope everything is going well. All right. Now, let's get into it because I got a bunch of stuff I want to go over. Um, yo, stop bickering in the comment section, people. All right. Let's be positive. Seriously. Um, let's get into we got a bunch of stuff to go into, and then first thing I want to say though is, guys, I don't know why everyone's making a big deal about that Herbert throw yesterday was spectacular. That Herbert throw was spectacular, but I mean, why is it every time Herbert does something we compare him to Tua, but every time Tua does something and Herbert ain't doing nothing, everyone's quiet. Like it's funny how Herbert was, you know, if you go back from what I think it was like what week 6 to like week 10, Herbert was actually statistically in that 4-game stretch one of the worst quarterbacks in the NFL. Like, I mean, I don't know why people are so selective here. I mean, I'm going to tell y'all what I've been telling people privately. Guys, here's the reality situation. The 2020 NFL draft class, Herbert, Tua, and Burrow look like they're all going to be impact players in the NFL. That might go down as one of the best quarterback draft classes in the last 10 years. Like, that's just the reality of this situation. Stop. Guess what? Different situations. All right. Herbert, he got flushed out from a guy coming off the left side, made that throw. If that was Tua, he would have had a guy coming off the left side and a guy up the middle. All right. Different situations. Stop comparing them. I mean, yes, it was an amazing throw, but where's all these people talking about how Justin Herbert has one of the lowest yards per attempt in the NFL heading into that game? He's turned into a dink and dunk guy that everyone wants to call Tua in the last like 6-7 weeks. And it's not because of Herbert. It's not because you've seen he can make the deep throws. It's because of the coaching and the scheme and everything that's going on offensively over there. So, again, a guy you've seen do all of it went on a 6-week stretch of where he wasn't even pushing the ball like that. And then the one time he does. And what's crazy is everyone wants Tua to do that. Yet that's the only time that Justin Herbert's ever done that. And like I've said, if you actually look at the throw he made, first of all, the throw he made to Mac Hollins was in a tougher situation. That guy had to maneuver up the middle and make the throw of the pocket. Justin Herbert was able to flush out to the right, but because of the rest of the protection, was able to reset his feet, plant, and bomb it. Like he was able to reset his feet. Tua wasn't able to reset his feet on his throw to Mac. And like I've said, it was in stride. It's just y'all have what's in stride confused. Every throw in stride is not over the bucket like that. Okay. It was in stride. He just had just turned his body. That's all he did. But he never slowed down. So listen, that whole draft class is going to be good. I mean, look at this. Everyone was so quick. Guys, did you know Jamar Chase is number 1 in the NFL right now in drops? Did everyone know right now that Jamar Chase is the leader in the NFL in drops? And look at how he came flying out of the gates. And look at, if you go by, listen, over the last 5 weeks, the only better receiver in football than Jalen Waddle has been Cooper Kupp. Like, that's facts. Like, that's like facts right there. The numbers backed it up, okay? Jamar Chase has been like the 35th best receiver in the last 5 weeks. The guy's hit the rookie wall. Do you know why? Does everyone know why? It's the same thing that what happened to Herbert when he faces the Patriots and all these guys. You take away the seams, you take away the deep stuff, you force them to the outside, you neutralize Herbert. Well, what did they start doing to the Bengals too? They started taking away the deep stuff. Now he's got to make contested catches. Now he's got to actually show a route tree, and he's struggling. I'm just saying. Like, that's Jamar Chase is the league leader in drops right now. Jamar Chase, all the deep stuff has been taken away, and that's why his yardage over the last 5 weeks has absolutely plummeted back to earth. Both Tua and Herbert are great. Future is bright for both of them. Bro, and I think Burrow, all 3 of them are going to be impact players in the NFL. Guys, everyone's in love with the big arm and the stats. We lived through that. Did we win a quarterback? Did we win a Super Bowl with Dan Marino? We had the guy breaking records early on in his first year. Did we win a Super Bowl with Dan Marino? We got there. Did we win? Last I checked, we haven't won since the 70s. CT, every quarterback misses reads and throws. These people that have never, like, it's their first time ever evaluating a quarterback or watching film. It's like, oh my God, it happens. Tom Brady misses. All these guys miss reads. Like, it's funny. All these people showing on themselves that first time they've ever watched film. It's hilarious to me. Michael, that's a hypothetical. I mean, the guy had the Marx Brothers. The guy had Irving Fryer early on. It's not like he didn't have weapons to kill people with. Like, this is what people don't understand. It's hilarious to me. And I've said this before. If it takes 1.5 to 2 years to come back from an ACL tear to start getting back to your normal self, what's it going to take for a catastrophic injury like the hip? That guy, you're not going to see him. You give him one more offseason, you're going to see the athlete you saw in Tuscaloosa. Because you're starting to see shades of him returning right now. You're starting to see the athlete come back. That's why Peyton Manning on his little detail video was losing his mind over sorry, no, my bad. I apologize. JT O'Sullivan on his QB video was losing his mind over the athleticism on that throw to Waddle to begin the game, where he had Durham Smythe open on the seam, but he was late on the read. So because the initial read was off to his left, his second progression was Smythe. By the time he made the read on Smythe, the defender had moved in and he was going to light him up. So he came back to Waddle. I don't know if you saw JT O'Sullivan's breakdown, but JT O'Sullivan was losing his mind about the athleticism he saw. See, that's the thing. You got all these, like, you know why I sleep fine at night? I'm going to tell you exactly why I sleep fine at night. Because all these, you see them on Twitter, wherever, YouTube, wherever, all these people that don't know how to break down film or are doing it for the first time and exposing themselves. I break down film with Martin and ball game. I've said it before. I'll say it again. We do the best job when it comes to breaking down Tua. Guys, Dan Orlovsky, JT O'Sullivan, Bucky Brooks, Peyton Manning, Kurt Warner, all their evaluations match what I'm telling you. So that's why I sleep fine at night. That's why I don't got to drag people, because I got guys who played the game at the highest level, and a guy like Bucky Brooks who's got scouting eyes, some of the best scouting eyes out there, one of the most credible guys in the mainstream media, if not the most credible guy. They all back up when I sleep. But when I say, bro, I go to sleep just fine at night. I ain't having to misinform or miseducate or construe film incorrectly to try and push a narrative. We tell you what it is, then these other guys come out and they back up what we're saying. Even Brian Baldinger. Baldy's breakdowns are some of the best breakdowns on any social media platform. Again, a guy who played the game. Again, a guy who backs up my evaluation of Tua Tagovailoa. So, and you're seeing the shades of the athlete he was in Tuscaloosa come back right now. He's coming back. And next year he'll be here. I'm telling you. Watch. Tua is going. I said this before, man. Listen. I got a good buddy I've met through this community. He's probably watching this show right now. What's going on? You know who you are. And he's really into. He professionally gambles for a living, okay? Like, he professionally gambles. This guy does everything. And he's created a mathematical system for quarterbacks, and it's all based on efficiency. And if you're efficient enough, Tua's efficiency numbers pretty much are on pace for about 10 to 12 wins per year. Now, that's not including injuries or whatever. You know what I mean? That's if he plays a fully healthy season, he's on pace for at minimum 10 to 12 wins just by efficiency rating. So when you add in factors of him either blowing up in the fourth quarter and letting loose, or when our defense goes out and wins a game, obviously that number can increase, right? That's what's going to win you a Super Bowl. That's what's going to win you a Super Bowl down the line is efficiency. It's not going to be 60-yard bombs. It's going to be efficiency, because when the playoffs begin, efficiency is what matters, because defenses start taking away what your offense does best. So you got to be efficient with the football. That's what will win you games in the playoffs. That's why Tom Brady has so many rings. That's why Joe Montana had so many rings. Efficient guys. Go look at Montana in the regular season. He wasn't blowing anyone away, but his efficiency when Joe Flacco. Why did the Baltimore Ravens win that Super Bowl with Joe Flacco? Joe Flacco had one of the best quarterback performances in the playoffs ever. The guy threw for 12 or 13 touchdowns and only one interception, and he put up yardage. Efficiency. Eli Manning. I believe it was it was one of the two championship runs. I think it was the one where they got in at 8-8. But it was the one where he threw 10 touchdowns and only one interception during the whole playoff stretch. Efficiency. That's what wins you, especially if you're built around your defense. And all the film breakdowns come out and they tell you he's doing what they're asking him to do. Like, go watch the route concepts. There's not a ton of deep stuff. They have to negate a pass rushes right now because their line can't hold blocks for 2.5 seconds. They have no running game. Dude, how many times do you think Tua's going to, if we've already been, guys, think about this for a sec. We're getting into it with the COVID stuff. But with all this COVID hitting, we've already seen Tua throwing between 35 to 43 times a game. When our running backs are healthy, what's he going to do now? What is Tua going to do this Sunday? Was he going to throw 50, 60 times? And it's because he can't run the football. Like, I want people to put into perspective here. I tweeted this out today, and I want people to really think about this for a sec. You know, all these people trying to doubt Tua's impact on this team. You just tell on yourself. You don't know. You aren't, because you aren't even paying attention. You don't even have to watch a film. It's telling you right now. Heading into week 6 against the Jaguars, when Tua returned from his fractured ribs, Miami ranked 30th passing defense. They averaged 191.4 yards per game. They were the 31st scoring offense. They averaged 15.8 points per game. And they were 25th in third down percentage, 35.4%. Now they rank 16th in passing offense, 230.5 yards per game. They're the 25th scoring offense, 19.5 points per game. They've gone almost a full 4 points per game up since Tua arrived. And now they're 9th in third down percentage, 41.9%. What do you think? The play calling just all of a sudden got better? Because all of you guys are complaining about the play calling in the RPO. So, I mean, like, you're actually seeing tangible growth that you can link to Tua's return. Like, it's literally right there for you to see. But you keep rolling out those excuses and you keep misevaluating your film. Go ahead. I'm just sitting back like Jerry when Elaine couldn't keep her hands off Putty, man. I got a cigar in my hand and you're slapping your dollar bills down on the table. Because I'm telling you right now, for us to win out, the guy some of y'all hate on needs to be your savior. Think about that for a sec. Exactly, Scotty Joe. The eyes, this is what I've been telling people. What have I been saying over this winning stretch? Uh-oh. The analytics and the stats are starting to back up what I've been saying on film, what Martin's been saying, what Ballgame's been saying. Uh-oh. Now what? You don't have anything. And he's driving that interception percentage right down right now. So, whoo, y'all are just running. Y'all thought we were making excuses. Now y'all are almost out of excuses. And it's funny. We like watching y'all squirm. It's funny. It's enjoyable. I get a kick out of it. Because I like hearing what the new excuses is. I feel like a teacher, and it's a bunch of kids who forgot to do their homework, and I got to hear their excuse every morning of what. I'm always excited to hear what their new excuse is going to be because they're running out of the old ones. The dog ain't chewing your homework anymore. Yeah. Twitter, Facebook, YouTube. Maybe some of y'all should stop giving your opinion on the quarterback and let people like me, Ballgame, and Martin do our jobs and give the real story of what's going on with the quarterback position. Because some of y'all I wouldn't trust to evaluate the latest dump I just left in my toilet, let alone a football player. Okay. If I've never heard an in-depth player evaluation or scouting report from you, you don't watch film. Stop it. And this goes for Twitter, this goes for YouTube, this goes for Facebook. If I've never heard anything in depth, scouting report, I don't want to hear a bunch of film evaluation. Don't care who you are. Fact, that's just it. Sorry. Just don't want to hear it because you don't know how to watch film. That's it. So I'm just telling y'all what it is, man. That's why they call me the real reason, because I keep it real. I keep it a buck, 110%. All right, let's get into the news. Let me just send a text because I had a call there from something I'm working on. Okay. All right, let's get into it. Revo, we're gonna get into that one too. Don't worry. We got it for you. We got it for you. All right. Now, let's get into this. Okay, so over the weekend, it was announced we were throwing it back to 2016, and Lamar Miller was going to be coming in. Um, and he, I was like, I was on the phone with EM when I got the notification. I'm like, is this for real right now? Like, where were we, 2015? And so per Drew Rosenhaus, the Dolphins are not signing Lamar Miller. They did make a transaction. We'll get into that in a sec. So you see it, Gaskin, Ahmed, and now Phillip Lindsay are in COVID-19 protocol. Dolphins are hopeful they'll get cleared by Friday and be able to play. Even you need 2 negative tests in a 48-hour span. So even players who are asymptomatic, they're going to come up with positive tests. So it's going to be really close, and I'll show you how close. So the Lamar Miller reunion, guys, it's dead. It's dead. It's dead, and thank God it is. Like, good God Almighty. And then officially today, not only Phillip Lindsay, but another big name for the Miami Dolphins, Jevon Holland and Phillip Lindsay were placed on the COVID-19 list in reserve. They did elevate Duke Johnson to the active roster. Um, okay, this is right now a team that just can't afford this. All right, let's start selling what it is. All right, right now we are we are bad at running the football. Not only just running it, like committing to the run. Like we are just bad. And because even when we get going, I mean, they get away from it. But, you know, man, shout out to Rhonda. Appreciate you, Rhonda, for the donation. I just got a $60 donation from Rhonda. Appreciate you, Rhonda. Thank you very much. And Rhonda says, happy holiday reason to you and your family. Thank you very much, Rhonda. Happy holiday to you and yours as well. I appreciate you, Rhonda. Thank you very much. I actually hadn't seen you in a while, and I think I mentioned you recently on stream. I called you out. I haven't seen you in a minute. I hope everything's going good. Guys, go click on Rhonda's name, go follow her channel. She, I've watched her pizza review because I know she's gone out to Chicago and done some deep dish. So I checked out your pizza review back in the day. So go check out Rhonda, man. She's always been a big supporter. Thanks, Rhonda. Appreciate it. But back to this rushing team. Right now, they average 79.2 yards per game. They're 31st in the NFL. I mean, 31st in the NFL when all these guys were healthy. I mean, good God. Like, that's not good. And now Jevon Holland. So, and we got Brandon Jones dealing with what he's dealing with. Um, are we gonna have to lean on Sherwick Redwine over here? Like, what's gonna go on? We don't want to see Clayton Fledgling to get some snaps. I mean, and oh, good, nice to see you, Rhonda. I hope work's been treating you well. Um, Honestly, as crazy as it sounds, I'll take Jevon Holland over all the running backs. Give me Jevon Holland. But this is not a good situation right now. And I just wanted to show you before we get into like, all right, let's keep it going. Let's show you, and then I'll show you what I mean by that. So since that happened, there's been some corresponding practice moves. You can remember Duke Johnson was elevated, right? So the Dolphins have signed wide receiver Tommy Lee Lewis and Dexter Williams to the practice squad, and they released Travis Fulgham, and he never really got a shot with them at all. And I just butchered his name, and I don't even give a crap. But I know what people are wondering about is Dexter Williams, and the great thing about this is I just caught up on Dexter. I absolutely love that show. But if you guys remember, Dexter Williams, he's drafted in the 6th round by the Green Bay Packers in 2019. 212, 5'11, He's about to be 25 in January. Obviously comes from Notre Dame. But when you look at him as, he's only got 17 snaps in 2 years. And only 7 of those have came with him actually running the football. 3 of them were pass blocking situations and 6 of them were run blocking situations. So this guy, I mean, Lamar must have been really bad. Let me put it that way. All right. Lamar must have been absolutely brutal. So, uh, absolutely. I mean, we didn't. I mean, what can we say? We didn't really get anything here. You know, I mean, this guy. What is he? I think he's caught like one pass in his what? I think he's been targeted 4 times for like one reception, and he didn't even get a yard on the reception. So, I mean, I don't even know if they've. I don't even think they've handed the ball off to the guy. So, yeah, not really expecting anything to come out of this. And then I saw someone say, "Who the hell is Tommy Lee Lewis? Is that Pamela Anderson?" I'm just joking. That's not Pamela Anderson's ex, that's for sure. Tommy Lee Lewis, he was drafted in 2016 by the New Orleans Saint. Actually, sorry, he was a UDFA. My bad. The guy's 5'7", 168. He hasn't even had a snap. He's been a practice squad player his whole career. I'm pretty sure. Sorry, let me see. Let me just check him out. Okay, no. So, yeah, he's been on he has let me see here. He Okay, so he has, if you look at his career, he has been targeted 31 times at New Orleans from 2016 to 2020. He had 21 receptions for 257 yards and 2 touchdowns. He had a touchdown in 2017 and a touchdown in 2018. He averages 12.2 yards per reception. And even though the crazy thing is, even though he's 5'7", only 29% of his snaps have come in the slot. He's actually been used out wide 68.4% of the time. So, I mean, 5'7" boundary guy, that's hilarious to me. These guys went and got a they went and got a 5'7" boundary guy. You kill me, Miami. You absolutely kill me. Oh my god. Ugh. So, yeah. Tommy Lee Lewis replaces Travis Fulgham, and Dexter Williams is now on the practice squad, and it ain't looking good for the Dolphins. And so let's just go based off of this year, off past cases we've dealt with, like close contacts and such. So this is just to give you guys an expected on return, right? So, Shaheen, he had a positive test. He didn't, and he was unvaccinated. And took him 10 days to return. Now, the thing about Salvon Ahmed, Myles Gaskin, and Jevon Holland and Phillip Lindsay is they are all vaccinated players. So NFL and NBA players who are vaccinated can return after 2 consecutive negative COVID tests. But even when they're asymptomatic, vaccinated people who test positive often are testing positive for several days. And specifically jumping into Jevon Holland. Now we get the running backs, right? Like they're all in the running back room. Jevon Holland, it was, he said that he went to Universal Studios this past weekend. He's vaccinated. He was just living his life, but obviously it it didn't work out. Now, thank God we have the Jets. And here's the thing: if Gaskin, Ahmed, Lindsay don't produce consecutive negative COVID tests by this weekend, the Dolphins running back group on Sunday would be Duke Johnson and Jared Dokes and Dexter Williams. And Williams has 7 career rushes for 19 yards. Jared Dokes obviously hasn't made a debut yet. So Jared Dokes might get forced into a role here. It looks like they're pretty hesitant because they're signing everyone they can to prevent Dokes from hitting the field. But, I mean, if we're fielding Duke Johnson, Dokes, and Dexter Williams, I can only imagine how much Tua will be throwing this weekend. And guys, go look at the dates. I'm just going you. This is all we've dealt with. Preston, Mike Gesicki, all these guys. This is since the date is right there, right? August and September. This is just what we've had on the COVID list this year. So we've had 2 close contacts. They returned. I mean, Gesicki took 9 days. Preston returned in 3 days. Iguavin and Jackson were undisclosed. Jackson was back in 5. Iguavin was back in 2 days. Shaheen, wasn't vaccinated, remember, it took him 10 days to come back, and then Gaskin, Ahmed, Holland, Lindsay. We'll see because we need a turnaround here. I mean, they got 6 days. So it's going to be, I need Holland there. I mean, I know we're playing the Jets, but I want to make a statement against these Jets. And, they've already been sending 3 or 4 and dropping the rest of back into coverage against us so much this year. What do you think they're going to do when we don't have Ahmed, Lindsay, or Gaskin? It's going to be brutal. It's not going to be a pretty sight. So that's the COVID outlook for this year and what it looks like. Now, outside of COVID, I took heat on Twitter when I reported this, and I reported first on the Patreon. And Will Fuller, guys, we got an update on Will Fuller today from Cameron Wolf, and Brian Flores says Will Fuller won't practice this week. Flores says he won't go into specific regarding Fuller's situation. Fuller has been out for the last 2.5 months with multiple finger fractures. This will be his 12th missed game due to injury, suspension, or personal reasons. I mean, I told y'all he didn't want to be here. I let everyone know this guy wanted to retire. And people tried to kill me for it just because I passed along what I heard. And you're telling me this guy wants to be here? This guy has no interest right now. Right now, he's caught 4 balls for 26 yards. Like, so far, he's made over $2.5 million a reception. And I just had a conversation this weekend with someone who told me the original game plan for the offense heading into the season, Fuller was a critical piece of it. They were expecting to use a lot of their speed, and everything that's happened with Fuller has derailed what their original plans for this offense were, which makes obviously sense. So I've been told privately the Dolphins, even though they support him publicly, are not happy with this situation. And this guy, from even more, they thought he was going to be a legitimate contributor to this offense, and they built this offense with his speed in mind, is what I've been told. So that's why it took them so long to start getting the feet under them. They reconfigured basically. So Fuller, absolute joke. This guy, just leave the game. If you don't want to be here, just leave, man. Just leave, because you're doing nothing. And what's crazy is, Flores was asked if there's an outside issue regarding Will Fuller's absence from the team, and Flores kind of dodged the question today. And he just said, "Oh, he won't be with the team this week." And you got reporters out there saying they haven't seen Fuller in months at the facilities. Like, there are people saying they have not seen Will Fuller for months at our facilities. Like, the guy's not even showing up and working with the team on the sideline. Like, he's literally just there collecting a check. Even if the guy was healthy, If you haven't been there for months, how much of the playbook is he even locked into right now? Absolute joke. Robbery, highway robbery. So screw Will Fuller. And honestly, guys, I'm going to be moving Jabroni of the week to Fridays. I'm going to add it to my Friday show. Will Fuller is in the lead. COVID's catching up to him. So we just gotta hope that this COVID outbreak doesn't get bigger because we've already been hit pretty hard by it. Our top safety and our top 3 running backs are out. That's pretty bad, even for a team that doesn't run the football very much, right? So, um, yeah, let's continue on here. I want to get into, I was thinking about like, what are some of the reasons why this team will make the playoffs, and what are some of the reasons why this team may not make the playoffs? And I wanted to go into this and let's go over this. I wanted to I got 5 reasons why, and I got some explanations for them too, not just like, oh, this, that, that. So I want to start off with let's start off with 5 reasons why the Dolphins won't make the playoffs. And we're seeing it already. Number 5, lack of healthy weapons. I mean, and this just goes beyond COVID. I mean, Fuller, DVP can't stay healthy. You know, everyone seems to be getting banged up here. And offensively, even Tua, he's technically a weapon, right? So if guys aren't going to stay healthy in this stretch and the supporting cast, if Tua does stay healthy, is depleted, it's obviously not going to be a good situation and it's not going to go very well for the Miami Dolphins. And that could be a main reason why the offense is stagnant and can't score in big games. Um, let's be let's be honest with ourselves. Um, so um yeah, so I'm gonna say my number 5 reason here is uh lack of healthy weapons. And COVID obviously now falls into this. And I did this before, you know. I mean, Holland's a defensive weapon. The guy's weapon X and he's out. So, it goes on both sides of the football. And I did this before the COVID stuff today. All right, number 4, the run game. I mean, what else is there to say? They are 31st in the NFL right now. Okay. They average 79.2 yards per game against the Giants. And the Giants are not a very good run defense. Just for context, where are the Giants right now? The Giants, as a run defense, they have the 25th best rushing defense. Yet the Dolphins, in all of their glory, were only able to muster as a offense total, um, not just the running backs, but as an offense, 68 yards on a team that averages allowing 125 yards per game. That's not good. So the run game is definitely a reason why they might not make the playoffs. Um, the offensive line. I mean, they can get people hurt or they can stunt drives. I mean, you look at the bad penalties we take in the red zone. We always take bad penalties on drives that matter as an offensive line. And you look at the pressures they allow. I mean, right now we are still, hey, guys, this is the reality of the situation. Things haven't changed since we've been on the bye. Okay. We are still the worst pass blocking team in the NFL, hands down. Okay. Maybe the Carolina Panthers might be worse than us. But in pressures allowed, we are still sky high. 223 pressures allowed. I mean, this team's going to allow over. They're on pace to allow over 300 pressures. Now I know it's been slowing down the past couple weeks because of Tua and his ability to get the ball out, but you never know. And Eichenberg and Jesse Davis, they have, between the two of them, they have 102 pressures allowed. Like, that's ridiculous. 2 players have that's more than some teams have. Unbelievable. And Now Alex Leatherwood has passed them. Eichenberg and Davis are tied for second most in the NFL. Jackson, he's sixth most in the NFL right now. He's allowed 43 himself. So you look at the three of them, 145 pressure between three players. And they've already got both quarterbacks hurt. They got Brissett hurt in the middle of the Ravens game, and they had Tua knocked out for 3 weeks before fractured ribs. And like I said, they kill drives. They allow sacks or they allow pressures where, we've seen them take away reads because of pressures they allow from Tua. Tua's looking to make a throw over the middle. Lee comes up the middle. He has to flush out. By the time he gets there, the read's gone. And so the offensive line is detrimental to this offense and how it operates and this team and its ability to consistently win. I mean, the offensive line is a big issue. We already know that. Jason Sanders. Yep, he is my number 2 reason. He might, even if they make the playoffs, he might be a reason why they lose a playoff game. Jason Sanders has just been, I mean, what can you say right now? He has been god awful. He's 75%. He's 6 of 8 from 40 to 49 yards. He's 2 for 4 from 50 plus yards. He's 4 from 6 for 30 to 39 yards. He's 5 for 5 from 20 to 29 yards. And he's 25 of 26 for extra points. Just for context, his 66.7% from 30 to 39 yards this year. Last year, he was 100%. The year before that, he was 88.9%. The year before that, he was 100%. Last year, he was 85.7% from 40 to 49 yards. Now he's 75%. Last year, he was 88.9. He was 8 of 9 from 50 plus yards. He's 2 for 4, 50%. He didn't miss an extra point last year. Jason Sanders has been unreliable. He's been struggling. It's clear. I don't know whether y'all were right that said it when you came up here, whether it's Matt Hawk or not being here. I don't know whether that's the issue. And him having to put up with Pilardi and a new holder. I don't know whether that's the issue or not, but it has not been pretty at times. Points have been left on the field. Win margins that Tua had should have been larger, but Jason Sanders just is inconsistent and doesn't do his job very well. And this could come into a critical time where you need the points. If it's 9-7 Dolphins against a Patriots team where we need to get the win to get in, and it comes down to a field goal, I don't think anyone would be comfortable because, hey, especially through the Patriots dynasty, how much did they rely on their kicking? Gronkowski, all of those guys. Through that Patriots dynasty, they've had some kickers make some key field goals for them. Some key field goals. People got to do their homework and remember that Patriots dynasty. When you win, you're going to get into tight games and field goals are going to matter. So, Jason Sanders, I can't rely on you in crunch time, and I have a feeling a crunch time is going to be coming up. So, we'll see how that works out. And then number 1 is pretty obvious. It's the 1-7 start. I mean, what else is there to say? I don't think any team in NFL history, if I remember the stat correctly, yes, no team in NFL history has started 1-7 and made the playoffs. The Dolphins, deeper for you, since the year 2000, the Dolphins have only won 6 games in a row is the most games they've won, and they've done it twice. So think about it for this. If Tua wins this week against the Jets, he ties. Well, the team ties our winning streak record for the 2000s. That'll be the 3rd time we've won 6 in a row. We've never won 7 in a row since Marino left. So, I mean, that's what I'm saying. If come out of 8-7 against New Orleans, and Tua's a big contributor. We've won the most. We've had our longest winning streak since the year in the 2000s, and we're above 500. You're telling me that's not a win? And we're ready. We'll roll into next year. Just got to get it right, because I'm going to tell you this right now. Flores, Greer, they ain't putting up with a slow start next year. These guys will be gone if they start slow next year. 110%. So, the number one reason for me is obviously the 1-7 start. I mean, so, let's get back to 500 this weekend, and let's go handle our business in New Orleans. And then in the last 2 weeks, you got to go beat right now the number 2 seed in the AFC on the road in their house, Tennessee. And then you got to come home and you got to beat the number 1 seed in the AFC right now, the Patriots. And Tua has Bill Belichick's number on speed dial, so let's let it roll. Let it play out. Let it play out. One game at a time. That's all you can do. So those are the 5 reasons why I think they won't make the playoffs. Now, on the flip side, the pessimistic view. 5 reasons why the Dolphins will make the playoffs. Number 5, momentum and confidence. Listen, I brought this up on the finish line. I brought it up here. When you go back prior to the Giants game, how Wilkins was shooting spitballs at Tua while he was up there. Holland was sitting amongst the reporters and asking questions to the players. There was a looseness to this team. And I remember I said it up here. It's the same looseness the fan base needs to take. We got nothing to lose. Let's just go balls deep, give it what we got, and see how things unfold. Right now, we were at 1. You had nothing to lose. You had nothing to lose, and we still have nothing to lose. Just temper the expectations, set realistic goals that they can achieve, and roll. Because even going 8-7 outside of was going to be hard to achieve. You got to win 2. Hey, the worst team in the NFL can beat the best team in college football and any day of the week. These guys, that's why they say any given Sunday. All right, guys, look at the mess the Jaguars are, and obviously their first win game against us. Why couldn't we have faced them when they were a mess like this? Why couldn't we have faced the Raiders after the Gruden and everything and Ruggs thing? Luck of the draw, but we had our chances. We didn't get the job done. Now we're paying the consequences. So momentum, confidence is at an all-time high right now. You see it. You see that looseness in the room. That can be a big thing, and that can be a big factor, and you can roll that into week to week, and you can beat anyone. I'm going to tell you right now, when they beat the Ravens on prime time, this team believes they can beat anyone. And that's a dangerous, dangerous state of mind for opponents. So let's just hope they can continue executing and they can continue building both of those, right? Because they're going to have to, for them to beat the New England Patriots, they're going to have to win the next 3 games. They need that momentum and that confidence and that belief that they can go do it again. I don't need no doubt against them. 5 reasons why the Dolphins will make the playoffs. Number 4, Xavier Howard has found his form. I don't care what anyone has said. Xavier Howard, guys, he has been absolutely fantastic. I mean, let's call a spade here right now. You go look against the Giants. Targeted twice, had the interception, allowed no receptions. Right now he's allowing a reception percentage of 55.6%. Now he's got 4 interceptions, but he's got 7 touchdowns allowed, right? Here's the thing. Xavier Howard has not allowed a touchdown since week 8 in coverage. He's 5 in this 5-game winning streak. Xavier Howard has not allowed a passing touchdown in coverage. In fact, if you go over the 5-game winning streak, all right, he's only allowed 13 receptions. And he is actually only allowed, let me do the math here quickly. He's allowed 179 yards, no touchdowns on, like I said, on 13 receptions. So he's playing fantastic right now. He's got a pass breakup, and in this winning streak, he has two interceptions in his last 5 games. So he's playing fantastic. I mean, you look at the passer ratings that have been against him on this win streak. 0 against the Giants. When you go against Carolina, he had a 47.9 passer rating when targeted. He had an 83.3 passer rating when targeted against the Jets, a 93.3 against Baltimore, and a 75.4 against Houston. So he's been doing fantastic and here's the thing. When he finds his form, he can win you games. I mean, you go look at that Ravens game, you go look at that New England game to start the season. Those are 2 games where he had an instrumental hand in playing for us to get the victory. So when Xavier Howard has found his form, look out. Look out. Big donation. Apologize. Let me get to that. Wow. Shout out to Samuel for the $49.99 sticker. I appreciate you, Samuel. Thank you very much, man. Appreciate you. Appreciate everyone for donating tonight, man. We got some stuff we're gonna be doing this week. I hope you guys enjoy. Some Christmas themed stuff. So, all right. And my number 3 reason is the run defense. Guys, right now, the Miami Dolphins, this is a reality situation. Right now, guys, they have the number 9, what is it? Yeah, number 9 run defense in the NFL. The number 9 run defense in the NFL. I mean, we all knew they came on, but and the factor's been Raekwon Davis. Sorry, they have the 8th. I apologize. They have the 8th best rushing defense in the NFL. They allow 103.8 yards per game. Raekwon Davis has been clearly the difference since he came back. Our run defense went to a whole new level. But in that stretch, guys like Christian Wilkins are taking that next step, especially as a run defender. And Zach Seiler has been absolutely phenomenal in run defense as well. Christian Wilkins is number 4 in the NFL with 26 run stops. Zach Seiler is number 5. He has 25. Only Jeffrey Simmons, DJ Jones, and Austin Johnson have more than these guys. So we're getting it. The run defense and the second level has been pretty good with Landon Roberts. You know, it could be way better. They've been decent. They've been passable. But that front has been so stout. Adam Butler's really played better since his first quarter of the season. You guys all know I've been a fan of Jenkins whenever he's got snaps this year. Ogba's done a fantastic job. Jalen Phillips has done a fantastic job. This run defense, especially down the stretch, because here's the reality of the situation, my friends. Now, the Saints. The Saints right now, they have the number 14 rushing offense. They average 121.5 yards per game. The Tennessee Titans, even without Derrick Henry, they still remain the number 5 rushing offense in the NFL. They have 137.8 yards per game. And then the New England Patriots, they are the 10th best rushing offense in the game right now. They average 123.5 yards per game. So you look at it, and we got some good run offenses, you know, on the horizon here, especially in the last 3 weeks. I mean, like I said, Saints 14th best, the Titans the 5th best, and the Patriots the 10th best. They are no slouch, but I want to show you what our run defense has been on this 5-game winning streak. Guys, on this 5-game winning streak, the run defense has allowed 424 yards on 94 attempts for an average of 4.5 yards per carry, but only 84.8 yards per game. So they are stifling run offenses right now. So they're going to need to continue to be huge for us to stand a chance down the stretch here. So we're going to need to continue, stopping the run, and everyone needs to buy in, and everyone needs to show a willingness to stop it, because they've been fantastic on this 5-game stretch as a run defense. They've been absolutely fantastic. I mean, just for further context for you guys, heading into the Ravens game? Heading into the because that would no, let's go heading into the Houston game, right? Heading into the Houston game. Because that would be when our winning streak started, right? So if let me do this. Houston Texans inside. Okay. So if you look at what our rushing defense was in that game specifically, because remember that was right before it all start, like our winning streak obviously started. I'm just looking it up right now. Our rushing defense heading into that game was not in the top 10 by any stretch of the imagination. I'm just waiting for this to load up here. I can tell you what it was. Our run defense, Raekwon's clearly been the difference maker. While Wilkins and Seiler for a stretch, I know we're leading the NFL. Obviously, players caught up because we had the extra game in hand, and now they've kind of caught up to us, right? So if you look at where we were as a run defense heading into the Texans game before the streak, we were 18th. We were allowing 115.8 yards per game. So now we have gone from 18th and 115 yards per game to we are 8th and we allow 103.8 yards per game. So we've shaved off over 12 yards per game. That's huge. So the run defense, especially on the back half, it's going to have to continue to being stout and stingy for us to have a chance. Now, 5 reasons why the Dolphins will make the playoffs. Number 2, the first 3 picks of the NFL draft. I mean, Jalen Waddle is on target for like over 1,100 yards right now. Jevon Holland's a difference maker, and Jalen Phillips is a difference maker. Now, I know Jevon Holland, obviously, with the COVID stuff, but if these guys can be healthy and if they can continue to be difference makers, they're gonna put plays on the field that make a difference in a game. Waddle, a first down, a touchdown, a big reception, or potentially could we see a kick return or punt return? Because quietly, if people actually look at it, we actually have a top 15 punt return and kick return special teams. I think we're top 15. I was checking that today. So if we can start turning into some big plays, and Jalen Waddle and Jevon Holland could have a hand in that, especially on special teams from them, I think they're going to be big kind of contributors. They've already been big contributors. I mean, Jalen Phillips has been huge in this stretch. Jevon Holland has been huge in this stretch. And Jalen Waddle, like I said, the only better receiver right now in football is Cooper Kupp. That's it. The only better football player at receiver over the last 5 weeks has been Cooper Kupp. That's huge. When you've got a guy who's been putting up wide receiver 2 numbers, that's huge. And that can make a difference, especially if we're going to beat these teams, the last 3 teams on this 4-game stretch we're about to embark on. They're all going to have to be big contributors. And when they contribute big, our team benefits from them because they're not just Jags or they're not just your average Joe. These guys are actual legitimate impact players in year one. So, yeah, they're going to continue to be big factors as to why. And then my number one reason is going to be Tua Tagovailoa's progress and chemistry with Waddle. We already know what the defense is. We already know the defense can win us games, but we know the offense is going to have to play complementary football for us to make the playoffs. If we just rely on the defense, we're not making the playoffs. If Tua and this offense can play complementary football, because let's face it, our only three weapons on offense right now are Tua, Waddle, and Gesicki. Tell me, name the other weapons right now. Mac Hollins isn't consistent enough to be labeled a weapon. Durham Smythe doesn't give you big enough plays consistently to be labeled a weapon. Devontae Parker is even fully healthy yet? Right now, Tua, Gesicki, and Waddle are your guys, and we're hoping DVP can get back to being one of those reliable weapons. But to be a weapon, you got to be reliable. Like I said, Joseph, Hollins isn't consistent enough to be considered a weapon. So it's all going to be about Tua Tagovailoa's progress. He's going to have to continue to be efficient. And I think his chemistry with Waddle is going to be what defines this offense. Let's be honest. The identity for this offense right now is quick hitting routes, quick decision making, get the ball out quickly with Tua. Second mandate, feed Waddle. Like, that's the identity of our offense right now. We can't run the football. We can't consistently run block or pass block. That's literally what we are right now. So, Tua Tagovailoa's progress and chemistry with Waddle, with what this offense is doing right now, that's our only hope to playing complementary football to this defense as of today. And, Gesicki's been on, in this 5-game winning streak, Gesicki has been off. Like, let's call a spade here. First 8 games of the season, Gesicki ain't dropping that ball that hits him in the face mask in the end zone. It's just not happening. Like, that's just not happening. This is an RPO, quick hitting, quick decision making offense because we got to negate defense's pass rush and we can't run the football. So those 2-3 yard passes, they're like 3-yard runs, 3-4 yard runs. Keep the clock moving and they keep the chains moving eventually. So we need DVP to be healthy and be one of those weapons. If we got DVP, Gesicki, and Waddle, and we can rely on all three of those guys down the stretch, I like our chances. If we can only rely on one of those guys, which being Waddle, what's good? Like I said earlier, what's going to happen when Belichick takes Waddle away? Because if he doesn't get taken away by Vrabel or Peyton, well, we all know Robert Saleh is not going to take him away. If he doesn't get taken away in the next 3 weeks, he's going to get taken away in that last week. So, I mean, let's be honest. Tua is your pass game and your running game right now. The RPO is your run game. We have no run game, so the RPO is our run game. Our running game is just an extension of the passing game. That's all it is right now. So, going to have to be efficient with the football, not turn it over. Not give the other teams extra drives and extra chances. Let our defense go to work and play complementary football offensively. We just can't afford to give extra chances. Like, this is the reality of the situation, people. Lock in. Two is our offense right now with Waddle and Gesicki. And we're hoping DVP can come back in. And we're hoping, because Ford only contributes here and there, Holland's here and there, Smythe here and there. So we're hoping DVP can get back to that and Gesicki can get his head right. And I'm not depending on Will Fuller, especially after what I just showed you guys. I did not think Will Fuller. I think Will Fuller has fleeced his team. I would have cut his ass. I don't know what they're waiting for. I have no idea whatsoever. So here's the deal, guys. I am going to be getting out of here, and either tomorrow night or Wednesday night, I'm going to be coming back to y'all, and I got something special. Hopefully I can cook it up. If I can get that special show going, it's going to be Wednesday, but I'm going to also be live on Thursday for another show I got lined for you where it's going to be interactive with you guys Thursday's show. And then it's going to be like a Christmas special type of show. And then on Friday, we are going to preview the game and then Sunday live reaction. So we got a lot on deck this week. And then obviously we got episodes of The Finish Line and Fin Too Deep for those of you that follow those podcasts. So be on the lookout tomorrow night or Wednesday for me. I will be back either one of those two. And then we'll be back Thursday, Friday, and Sunday. So we got a lot going up. Yeah, George, Preston's done. It's over for Preston Williams. Goodbye, Preston. I like this guy doesn't even get targeted anymore. It's hilarious. They're using him in the backfield. Like I can't believe what Preston Williams, a guy who had so much hope and was building so much chemistry with Tua and what that's turned into. Like, who goes on the milk carton first, Will Fuller or Preston Williams? Like, we need to revamp this offensive line, and we need to revamp the running back room, and we need to revamp the receiver room, whether Tua is your quarterback or not. That's a fact of the matter. There are so many holes on this offense right now. It's unbelievably ridiculous. Like, it really is. So we're going to have to invest some serious capital on this offense in this offseason. We just cannot afford to joke around anymore. I mean, it just is what it is. They can't afford to make luxury picks, to push positions off. I mean, you look at it. Now, I know he might have got hit with COVID this week, but if we would have had that 3 down back that can block, catch, and pass, and then you got Lindsay to complement him, because here's the thing. When you look at us right now, Myles Gaskin only averages 1.2 yards after contact per attempt. He only has 189 yards after contact this year. Like, it's not good at all. If you look at Phillip Lindsay, we all like Phillip Lindsay, right? Phillip Lindsay this year is only averaging 0.7 yards after contact per attempt. And in 2020, he averaged 1.6. And in 2019, 1.8. And in 2018, 1.6. Just for an example, this is why when people say to me, well, Jonathan Taylor, he wouldn't last here. You know what I mean? Like, he wouldn't last with this. Jonathan Taylor right now is averaging 2.9 yards after contact. Tony Pollard, remember Tony Pollard that I wanted? Remember when some of these people, when I put him up in the Xavier Howard deal, that was the guy I wanted in my package? Tony Pollard right now is 3rd in the NFL, yards after contact. Ramondre Stevenson is 4, Damian Harris is 5. See that? Ramondre Stevenson is 4, Damian Harris is 5. Javonte Williams is 7. So, yards after contact, even if you get a blown block, if you can get yards after contact, it's going to be ridiculous. I mean, Jonathan Taylor has 691 yards after contact this year. Unbelievable. Pollard has less carries than Gaskin, but has 294, yards after contact. So if you're built if you're built the right way and you're elusive the right way and you have good vision, you can make people miss. So, that's why our run offense is so bad. We just can't get yards after contact. But anyways, appreciate all of y'all. I will see all of y'all either tomorrow or Wednesday. Be out on the lookout. I'm trying to put together a special panel show for you guys. If that goes down, it looks like it's going to be Wednesday. So I'll keep y'all updated. So just waiting to hear back from a few people. So we'll see what we got, but we'll be looking for Wednesday for that show. So appreciate all of y'all. I hope everyone has a great night. Enjoy the rest of Monday Night Football. I will talk to y'all either tomorrow or Wednesday, but most likely Wednesday. But be out on the lookout. It might be tomorrow. All right. Fins up all day.